Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
On Ravelry.
On Ravelry.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Sorry. I'm thrown because this is not Thursday. This is not when we usually record. This is Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th of September. That means you'll be 20 in 1 month.
Ooh.
2019. And this is episode 361. We're recording late because Dammy was out of town. And I've had a frazzling week, and so I'm trying to get myself pulled together so that we can do this for y'all. Okay? Okay, we'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. I know that we've gotten some new viewers because of Flosstube. Mm-hmm. So if you are newly watching because of our added Flosstube segment, welcome. If it's a Flosstuber watching, they may not have a Ravelry account. Mm-hmm. Because Ravelry is knit, crochet, weave, and spin. So if you are here because of Flosstube and you don't have a Ravelry account and don't want to get one, you can. It's fine. It's free. If you don't want to get one, to join our group there that has like discussion board stuff, and it's where we do our giveaways and everything, which we may have to adjust if we're doing cross-stitch giveaways. We can talk about that later. Comment on the YouTube video. Introduce yourselves. Tell us your name and where you're from and whatever you would like us to know about you. And we will make sure and give you a shout out on the next podcast, like we do if someone introduces themselves in the Ravelry group. So, Dammy, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you get a shout out on our next episode and you'll be able to participate in all our alongs and giveaways.
That's right. Well, we have quite a bit to talk about today, especially Dammy is going to tell us about her trip a little bit and everything. But I do not think it's going to be as long as last week. Last week ended up being just under an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. Primarily because we were ending the the summer along. And so we had all those prizes. We had the new autumnal along. We had to announce prize winners for the 7th Podiversary. Thank you so much to everyone who, if you won in the 7th Podiversary or the summer along, who contacted me super fast. Almost all the prizes have gone out, but if you entered and you haven't had a chance to watch last week's episode, go do that because you just have 30 days to claim your prize. And we don't have a review this week either. So, hopefully, it'll be more on track with our normal stuff. Okay, this intro is getting very long. Sorry, lots to say. Let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what's on your needles, Dammy?
So I've got my Persephone wrap on the needles, and I did take it with me on my trip, but I didn't work on it.
Dammy.
So, oops. But I did, on the plane back, I made a little sheet thing of, like, when I should try and finish things by, so I'll get back to working on it.
Okay. Were you also wanting me to teach you how to cross-stitch?
Maybe.
Her friend likes the Haunted Mansion, and I found Haunted Mansion cross-stitch patterns. Those things, patterns, you know, that you stitch from.
What are you working on?
I'm working on this right here that's in my hands. These are my happy 20th birthday Dammy socks for someone sitting on the couch next to me who will be 20 in 1 month.
Big yawn.
That was a big yawn. We'll get Pinky over here after a while. This is my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on Ravelry. It's on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Knit Pick Stroll hand painted in the Borealis colorway. So I have finished the foot, I've done the heel, and now I'm working on the leg. We were discussing this at knitting group the other night so what I do is I have a note in my phone. Because typically, if I'm knitting socks, I am knitting them for me, you, Katie, Mel, the Dr. Hubs, Jeremy, Izzy, and Noah. So I have this note on my phone, and well, especially I think all 5 of us women wear the same size, similar size shoe. So I have like a thing where I say, you know, cast off this many, increase to this many, and then I put like foot is X number of rows, and then the heel, and then the leg is this number of rows, the cuff is this number, so I can repeat it on the second sock. But then, so when I started working on these, I went in to see how long the last pair of socks, how many rows the foot was, and it was significantly less than this. And I remeasured it and everything. Well, excuse me. What we think is this yarn is pretty airy. There's lots of air in it, so I think that is what's causing it to expand and make it the length, even though it's not the same number of rows. But it's the correct length and everything. So I'll keep working on that. This is the first sock. Yeah, so I've got that. And then next up, I've got my inner piece shawl, which is the pattern that I am doing for Joji Locatelli's fall knit along. This is the inner piece shawl by her. I'm using US 4's 3.5 mil needles. And the yarn is Pandia's Jewels Snug in the Supernatural colorway and Suburban Stitcher yarn sock in the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park colorway. So, this is the Suburban Stitcher yarn, and that's section 1. This is the Pandia's Jewels yarn, and this is section 2, and I've just started section 3. And like I showed y'all, I think before, so this is what the shawl looks like when it's finished with all those lovely baubles. So this is like the schematic of the shawl. So I'm using the Suburban Stitcher for sections 1, 4, 9, and 12, and Pandia's Jewels for 2 to 3, 5 to 8, 10, and 11. Although I might change it and might do all of this from 4 to 9 in the Suburban Stitcher, because these sections of Pandia's Jewels are wider than than I thought they were going to be. So I'll do some maths and stuff on that and see what I want to do. But I'm really enjoying knitting it, and even though I'm having to take the time to do baubles, I think they turned out really pretty. So that is what I'm working on there. And then I've got my English paper piecing. Trying to get all the needles in the bag. I have my English paper piecing, and I will be finishing this flower today because I only have 1 hexagon to go. And then this will be this is the companion one to the other one I did that had the pink glitter fabric on the outside and the bell fabric on the inside. So I will get this last hexagon in, and then that makes, I think it makes 8 finished flowers. And I printed out some hexagon graph paper that I want to do some stuff on to see about layout, so that I can get an exact estimate of how many. No, not an exact estimate. Those are totally those contradict each other. So that I can have an exact number of flowers that I need to do. So I'll do that, and I also need to cut fabric so that I can start on the next set of flowers. That's everything that's on my needles, but I finished a couple things this last week, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Yes. So first up, this is the Little Sister Barley hat for Dagny. She is the new little babe at our church. I used the Barley Hat by Tin Can Knits on US 4's 3.5 mil and US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Brene Softy Baby in the Baby Baby colorway. So this, I think I said this before, but this yarn is lighter than what the pattern calls for. So instead of making the smallest size, I make the next size up and use smaller needles as well. So this will be a good hat to get her through the fall and winter. And Dammy made matching socks, and I also made a bigger hat for Dagny's big sister, Lucia. So that's finished. And then I have my weekly preemie hat. This may be my favorite preemie hat ever. Oh, look at that color. So this is my 36th preemie hat of the year, using my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can find on Ravelry. I did it on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is a Little Nitty Diamond in the First I Drink the Coffee, Then I Do the Things colorway, and the Ugh, I Need a Taco colorway, which are both Gilmore Girls references. So here's what I did. The pom-pom I made using the two colorways held together. And then I started with, I think this one is the I Drink the Coffee and this one is the taco. I held this, it's all fingering weight. So I held the coffee one together to start out. And then I held one strand of the coffee with one strand of the taco until I ran out of yarn. And then I held two strands of the coffee again together to finish it out. And I used up every bit of this yarn. It is all completely used up. But the autumnal is my second favorite color after pink. You guys, I did not have the energy to do the bangs today. So, headband. Yeah. So I really, really love this hat, and I hope it goes to a special little babe in the NICU, and that it's just a blessing to that babe and to the family. So, okay. I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. Am I entering this, or are you entering this?
You introduced it last time. We need a good way to introduce it.
Guys, we need a good way to introduce this segment. For now, it would be like, Flosstube.
Oh.
You told me I needed a good way to intro it. If you have an idea, help me out. So, I've just worked exclusively on one project this week in my lovely, lovely Sunflowers bag by Joe of Stitching the High Notes. So the pattern I am working on is Quaker Pumpkin by the Stitcher Hood. I am not using the called for colors. I am using a green instead of the brown, and a more pumpkin-y orange instead of the kind of burgundy is what I would call it. And I'm doing it on this lovely even weave. So there is the stem and the vines are completely done. So now I am working on the pumpkin-y part. So I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to be done with it and be able to display it in the house. It is just lovely, lovely. So that is what I have been stitching this week. And then let me tell you the Flosstubes that I've been binging, because I have been binging a lot. So I'm watching Cupcake Stitcher. A lot of these Flosstubers are local to the Pacific Northwest. So there's potential that I could actually meet some of these in person at some point. So I've been binging Cupcake Stitcher. I binged all 3 episodes of the Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour with Ellen Reed. Now let me tell you about this. Do you know the music group Crash Test Dummies? Ellen is part of that. And so, like, she, in one of her episodes, she was like, yeah, we were doing the tour of the, I think the East Coast or wherever, doing a tour of the East Coast, and so I went to this local needle shop in this town and this one, and it was just cracking me up. And she is so funny. Funny, funny, funny. So you should definitely check her out. I've been watching So Grateful, SEW. All of these are linked in the show notes. Stitch Goes My Heart, and Stitchy Witchy 42. So
Stitchy Witch.
Sorry, Stitchy Witch 42. Oh, and I just started another one. No, that's not what I need to do. I need you to get me out of that. Sorry, guys. What is it? This one. Michelle Bindi Stitchy. Michelle Bindi Stitchy. I just started binging her, and she's actually a cross-stitch designer. So I've been binging her as well. Okay, I think that's everything for this part of the show. But I do have some cross-stitch stuff that I'm going to be talking about in the next segment. So stick around and hear about the other stuff I'm going to talk about. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things. Things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. I just realized I should have opened this pattern and pulled it out to show y'all. So, I have done Vlogmas the last 2 years. And Vlogmas is a thing where you do a daily vlog on YouTube throughout the month of December. So for Christmas, Vlogmas. And I think I may have talked about this last week that I try to have some kind of hook. So the first time was I was making pom-pom garlands to go around. They were supposed to go on the Christmas tree, and then we got the cat, and so we had small Christmas tree, so they're hanging around my windows in my office space. And then last year, I did the cabin pressure re-listen and talked about the episode every day. Well, this year, I was like, I kept trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I did some Googling, and I was like, brilliant. So this is a pattern from Country Cottage Needleworks, and it's called Countdown to Christmas. And what I'm going to do is each day, I'm going to stitch the appropriate box. And then just as I have time, I will do the house and the two borders, red and white borders there. So there's things like wreaths and tree and gingerbread men and cookies and ornaments and Santa and just all kinds of Christmassy, wintry things. So, I haven't decided what fabric I'm going to use yet. I need to think about that, but I've got plenty of time because this isn't until December 1st. It's written in 1, 2, 3, 4 with 6 DMC colorways and then 2 classic colorworks and 1 sampler threads. So I need to see about those, but there are alternatives, DMC alternatives, if I don't want to use the fancy floss. And there are a few special things. There are some straight stitches for like the bird legs and music notes. There's some French knots. So, but there's not a ton of it. It's specialized to like, let's see, which did it say which one is the bird? Oh, day 4. Right there. I don't know how well you can see it, but the bird's legs right there. So this is going to be my thing for Vlogmas this year. So I'm excited about that. And I will figure out the fabric and make sure I have all the flosses and everything and get that all ready to go because I'm excited about that. So I've been binging Flosstube, so I have no clue which Flosstube I saw these on. Maybe 2 Martini Stitcher. I can't remember. But these are like project bags that I got off of Amazon. They're not designed as cross-stitch project bags, but they work, as you can tell. My Christmas list one that I've set aside so that I can work on my Quaker Pumpkin is in one. So these are just A4 size, which is a little bit bigger than letter size paper for the US. And all 10 of them were under $9, so less than $1 a bag. Damn, you might actually take some to use for school stuff, but they're just great little, and I like that they're clear enough that you can see what is inside them. I mean, it's not the same as, this clear window that's in this project bag, but this is a cheaper alternative, and then that way I can pick out some special bags along the way, but in the meantime have this cheaper alternative. So I will link these in the show notes so that if you want to get some, you can. When I was at a knitting group on Wednesday, we meet at the Barnes & Noble cafe, and so I picked up the Just Cross Stitch issue autumn, does it say? October 2019 issue, volume 37, number 5. And there's a few patterns in here that caught my eye that I wanted to show you. There's this fall teapot that is a pumpkin with sunflowers. That's two of my favorite things. So I think this is going to need to be stitched at some point. Let's see how big it is. It's estimated to be, it depends of course on what fabric you stitch it on, but to be about 7 inches by 7 3/4 inches. So that's not too bad. Oops. Need to do this one right here. I love, love, love this one so much. I don't know if I do it, if I will do this exact verse inside, but this floral wreath. Just stunning. Just stunning. It's estimated to be 10 by 10 inches on 18 count fabric. Let's see, I don't want to show you the pattern on this one. Look at this autumnal cat. And you do it and then you actually make a little pillow out of it. And it is adorable. It is 5 7/8 by 3 2/3 on 27 count. Went too far. Nope, went too far again. And then, how cool is this? There's a whole article about Scottish samplers, historical motifs, and mystery mansions, which if you haven't been watching us for long, we lived in Scotland for 4 years. And so I was like, this is really, really cool. So this is the reproduction Helen Halley 1843 Scottish sampler. So pretty. I really like that a lot. Okay, and then we have, they did these as a, like table mat and napkin ring, but they said it would also look good on a tablecloth or a runner. This could be really, really pretty. This just little motif, and then you could put your, your monogram initial in that, or this is just the leaves. And I was like, oh, that's really pretty. It's really simple. But just a really pretty little thing. And the last thing I want to show you, of course, is more Halloween. So the ones that really stood out to me are the black cat wearing the witch's hat on the orange pumpkin. And this one down here that says from the witch's window. And it's got the black cat. I love the little tail with the pumpkin scarecrow and the corn. There's some other ones. This is, I knew immediately that this was Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Yeah, and I do really love that they do a picture index at the end so you can see all the patterns that are available in this issue. So I have put in a subscription for this magazine so I don't have to just keep paying full price for it. I don't know, they might send me this issue, and if they do, I will do a giveaway since I already bought a copy of it. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see. Okay, I'm going to put a couple pictures of this on the screen, but the lovely ladies at Tin Can Knits, Emily and Alexa, just came out with a brand new pattern called Oaken, and it is a worsted weight shawl or a worsted weight blanket done on US 9s, 5.5 mil needles. Their description, a sweet and satisfying knit, always there to wrap you up and keep you warm on a chilly afternoon. This blanket or big cozy shawl starts with garter stitch and ends with a dose of rhythmic lace to keep things interesting. I love that lace detail. Mm-hmm. So, so, so pretty. The shawl, it says, takes 620 yards of a single color. Although they do talk about if you want to do it in 2 colors. And then the blanket takes 500 yards of a main color and 390 of a contrast color as shown, or 850 if worked in a single color. So, yay. Way to go, Tin Can Knits, for putting out another lovely pattern. Thanks for sharing it with us. And if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should, because Tin Can Knits are one of my favorite designers. So, all right, Dammy, I'm grabbing my knitting, and I am ready to listen to you tell us about your trip.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Tell us all about it.
So I went to Pennsylvania to visit my friend Hallie. We did a bunch of stuff. We went to New York, and I went there for the first time, and I saw my first Broadway show. It was Hadestown. I'm sorry I did not get Patrick Page's signature.
He didn't come to the stage door.
No, but I did get to meet some people at the stage door, and they were very nice, and the show was amazing. We were super close. We were on the left side of the orchestra.
Cool.
Yeah, row J.
You brought me a flower.
I did.
You brought me some other stuff, but you won't let me have it yet.
No.
She says my birthday, which is in 3 weeks.
Less than a month.
3 weeks from today, because next Friday is the Dr. Hubs and I's 22nd anniversary. Did anything surprise you about the show?
Not really.
Was it like you expected, or was it even... because you've seen shows, you had just never been to Broadway.
Yeah. It was great. I don't think it surprised me.
Okay. What was your favorite song when you were... because we've listened to the soundtrack till we're blue in the face, but what was your favorite song to see it actually performed?
Wait for Me.
Okay. With Reeve and Eva?
No, the
Just
first
with Reeve?
one.
Oh.
And the whole ensemble.
Okay, the first one. Okay. I think
Yeah.
the mailman's here. That sounded like his truck. You have some mail coming. Coolness. And y'all walked around some in New York City. What else did y'all do?
Yeah, we went to a meatball shop that had really good meatballs. It was New York, so of course they were slightly pricey, but they were really good meatballs. It came with pasta, too. Like, these were enormous. There were only 4 meatballs in there.
Oh, wow.
But they were, like, that big.
Oh, my goodness.
They're really good. It's called The Meatball Shop. There's at least 2 in the city. Maybe more. And we went to a Broadway gift shop type thing called Theater Circle. We walked around in the Disney store, and one of the ladies there called us princesses.
Aww. Were you wearing your Ariel shirt?
No, I was wearing a button-up, trying to be fancy.
You didn't buy anything in the Disney store?
No. They gave us a thing. They gave us each a thing that was like their mailer catalog that was like, if you spend $75 on Halloween items, you get $10 off today. And we just put them both in my bag and came back. And then the next day, Hallie got mail, and it was the same mailer.
Oh. I have a
So.
stitch that is giving me problems. That's why I'm staring at it.
Oh, no.
It's okay. It got... Oh, I see what happened. Okay. I can fix it, but it'll take a little bit more than doing right there. How was it seeing, like, all of the signs and the marquees and everything?
I don't know. I feel like it was smaller than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
And you had to drive through, what tunnel is that called?
I don't know what it's called. Were you stalking me?
I was looking to see where it was, because I was like, I wanted to know, like, what other theaters are around and all kinds of stuff.
Yes, we had to drive through an underwater tunnel.
What is it called?
And I didn't tell you about it because Hallie's like, hey, want to hear something cool about this tunnel? I'm like, what? It's underwater. What?
I knew the tunnel was underwater.
It was, like, terrifying. Like, we could have died any moment. But yeah, we passed a bunch of theaters. Yeah, new marquees.
Why can't I find what's the name of the theater?
Walter Kerr.
Because I need something to orient myself. Oh, the Lincoln Tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I knew where it was in relation to the theater, and I couldn't. I've never been. Well, I think I landed in New York once.
Doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
We passed Bryant Park. We walked around in Times Square.
How was that? Was it crazy?
Yeah.
Were
But,
you...
like, not as crazy as I thought it would be. Like, it wasn't anywhere close to the Royal Mile in the middle of August.
It was a Sunday afternoon?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Were you looking for a duffel bag with Jane Doe in it?
No.
From, what's the name of that show?
Blind Spot.
Blind Spot. Did you see any famous people as you were walking around other than, I mean, obviously the Hadestown people?
No.
Okay. And
Unless
now
I did and I missed them.
Oh, potentially. And now you want to go back and see all the shows.
Yeah.
What else did you do on your trip?
We went to Dunkin' a lot because we don't have Dunkin' here.
And did you drink pumpkin spice?
Yes.
Did you have Dunkin' Donuts?
I had an apple fritter in the Avoca airport. It was good. She took me to Noodles. We went window shopping. You're looking to where the nearest Dunkin'
I
Donuts
am.
is. We went to Knoebels, Pennsylvania amusement park, and I rode on my first proper roller coaster. Where's the closest one?
It's not. It's bringing up all these other ones.
It's trying to show you don't have Dunkin' in your area. Here are your options. Dallas Donuts is really good. You would have to go on their website. Why don't you do that when we're done?
Keep talking.
Or you can do it right now. Yeah, I went on my first roller coaster, first log flume,
You had been on a roller.
first dark ride.
You had been on a roller coaster before.
Was it a little baby one? Or does it count?
It was a roller coaster. Locations, restaurant locator.
So, yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
And or are you going to talk about it in what we're watching, or are you going to tell them what she forced you to watch?
No. We watched some Twilight. She really likes Twilight. She got Bella's birthday dress and wore it on her birthday. Because it happened while I was there.
It's showing me Virginia, because I put Washington in. Oh, this is nuts.
I don't have anything else to say.
I'm trying to think what else I was going to ask you. I don't know. I'm not finding it. If somebody knows what the closest Dunkin' Donuts is, I know the closest Cracker Barrel, which you went to.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
You didn't go to the closest one. You went to one and then sent me a picture. And I was like, is that Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, and I had asked the server for a box for my food, and I put all my food in. I'm like, I'm going to eat this tomorrow. And I left it at the restaurant. It was so sad.
Did you?
They don't give bread baskets anymore.
Oh.
2 biscuits, 2 cornbread.
And that's it?
I'm sure you could request more, but it's really sad because I only eat one of the biscuits and I put the other one in the box to eat the next day.
Did you walk through the little store?
Yes, lots of Halloween stuff.
You didn't bring me back any of the candies that I like from there?
Oh, I didn't see any.
They're usually up by the register. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're home. She was gone for a whole week, but I FaceTimed with her.
I'm going to go to Portland.
I do want to go to Portland. There's a needlework shop down there.
Okay, we can go to Cracker Barrel and Voodoo Donuts.
And the bookstore that Jessica told me.
Dolls.
Yes.
Okay, that was my trip.
It's only about 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay, let's go on Sunday.
Heck, well, I would need to see if the needlework shop's open on Sunday.
I like how you're actually entertaining it.
Okay. So do we have any other yummies to talk about?
No.
Oh my gosh, this is almost 20 minutes long.
You were looking for Dunkin'.
Well, but you were telling us about your trip. And you brought me a flower, and I was happy with that. but I can't wait to see what else she brought me. I will show you. I will show you when she gives it to me.
Be patient.
I've been patient all the way since last night.
Wow.
Wow, I know. Okay, let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
Do you know what today's prompt is?
It is what I'm doing now.
That sounds right. So September's list, yes it is. September's list is about autumn and back to school, but plus all of our normal like nitty and life things that we normally include, letters, numbers, all that. So, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Those are our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Today, as we said, is hashtag WIDN, what I'm doing now. You interpret that however you want. We are very cheater friendly on this. You post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. You can also use hashtag GGK Stitchy Pad, GGK Kitty Pad, GGK Puppy Pad, GGK Puggy Pad.
You need to enunciate.
Stitchy, kitty, puppy, puggy, birdie. Oh, I need to add birdie to my thing on my phone that I use to make it fill it in. But make sure you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad because that's what we're searching for. And yours might get chosen. If you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad and you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you because otherwise we can't see your photos. And if we can't see them, we can't choose them. So, okay, let's quickly talk about upcoming events. One upcoming event that I'm not going to be attending because I'm attending another one, I'll tell you in a minute, but is the Fall Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl. It's the first weekend of October, and it is pirate themed this year. So there's that. I'm not attending that because the Dr. Hubs and I will be going to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada for Knit City the first weekend in October. I think we're going to do the show on Saturday and then do some touristy things on Sunday. It's going to be a very fast trip, though.
I think on our flight back, the pilots verged slightly into Canada because once we landed, I got a text that said, "Welcome to Canada. Data here is 0. It was from Sprint."
Yes. I actually called, Sprint is our mobile phone carrier. I actually called them and no, I didn't call them. I did the live chat and was like, I need to make sure that mine and my husband's phones are going to work when we go to Canada. And he said it's included in our plan. So.
Yeah, but it said like, "Welcome to Canada. Data, $0 per megabyte. Calls, $0 per minute."
Yeah. I also have to call our credit union and be like, hey, we're going to Canada. Please make sure my debit card works.
Yeah, I put down, that's not a word. I'd put down my card to pay for something. I think it was like Cracker Barrel or something. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what if they freeze my card? But they didn't.
Yeah, you would have just called them and they would have unfrozen it. So.
I would have called them in the middle of Cracker Barrel and said, help.
Yeah. You probably would have actually called me and been like, what do I do? And I could have gotten it unfrozen because I am on your account. Okay.
Your card's being used as a Cracker Barrel in Pennsylvania. I am at a Cracker Barrel in Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, do you see him?
Okay, and the second weekend in October is Dammy's 20th birthday.
Old.
The third weekend in October, and I'm probably going to go on the Saturday of it, to Five Refuge Northwest at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, Washington.
They're just going everywhere.
I know. I'm going so many places.
I'm just going to go see a show.
The fourth weekend in October is the Seattle Cat Convention, CMeowCon. And I just saw this week that Steven, who's the engineer for the My Favorite Murder podcast, he has the Purr cast, and he and his co-host are going to be at CMeowCon.
Who's his co-host, a cat?
No, but it's like they talk to owners about their cats, is what they do. Let me see who his...
Because he babysits Elvis and Mimi and Dottie.
CMeowCon. Stephen Ray Morris and Sarah Iyer.
Mm-hmm.
Are going to be at CMeowCon. I'll be going on the Saturday of that with my friend Yuko. I'm going to a knitting retreat that is completely full on Saturday the 9th of November. Potentially, there is a show. I think it's the 10th of... No, it's in November, called Yarn Revolution, and it's put on by Nano Stitch Lab. Mm-hmm. And there's like 30 vendors, and it's like between Linwood and Shoreline, across in Seattle. So actually, we were talking about it at a knitting group the other night that some of us may go to that. So
just get the Kingston Ferry, and it's not that far.
Yep. So I will find the website for that. I can't remember the date. Let's see if it brings it up. If I just type it right quick. Oh yeah, here we go. It is Sunday the 10th of November. I was correct. At the Nile Shrine Golf Center in Mount Lake Terrace, Washington, from noon until 6 p.m. So I will add that to the show notes about that. So. Okay, that is everything that we have upcoming, and so I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Tammy?
I'm still reading The Secret Diaries of Miss Ann Lister. This is the first volume, and I think Helena Whitbread is working on a second volume right now, but I'm still working on it just a little bit at a time. And I'm also reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
And I am assuming you're getting your 15 minutes a day in?
Did reading the playbill when I was in New York count?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
What am I referencing?
The July, August, September RAL read-along.
So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading. Audiobooks do count. So there is a finish line thread in the Ravelry group with all the details. And by participating in the seasonal RALs, you can get entries into the year-long challenge. And we're going to have 3 grand prizes at the beginning of 2020. I've started picking
But you were
stuff.
pointing at my butt.
No.
I'm like, what do you want?
So, our prize box had been like a comforter quilt bag. You know those plastic...
I think we'd taken it from Edinburgh.
No.
No?
No. It was when we bought bedding for our beds.
It was my bedding.
I think it was mine. You know, one of those like zipper bags that it's in. Well, one of the zippers broke, and then the handle was about to break, and so I had the Dr. Hubs pick up a Rubbermaid tub for me, and it is now currently... I was going to put it under the coffee table with the tub that has all of my English paper piecing and some cross stitch supplies in it, but it didn't fit. So it is.
And then Pink wouldn't be able to sit there.
So it is under our TV table, which is we stream stuff. It's a computer monitor. So it's under there. But that bag right there has grand prize stuff in it.
Ooh.
You needed to know that, right? So, join in, participate. Details are in the show notes and in the Ravelry group. What I am reading. I have just started White Fragility, Why It's So Hard to Talk to White People About Racism by Robin DiAngelo. I just have read the intro in chapter 1. So that is my nonfiction that I'm reading. I'm continuing to reread Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is the 4th book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I'm reading that along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. By the way, spoiler, Hedwig dies. By the way, spoiler, Dumbledore dies too. That's for you, Mary and Megan. They were harassing me about spoiling them about Cedric dying. I didn't spoil them. They knew. They've read it all. Anyway, just being funny. However, this week, Swish and Flick didn't do a chapter. They did an interview with Chris Rankin, who played Percy Weasley in the Harry Potter movies. And he is extremely funny. Very, very funny. So that means I didn't read a chapter this week because they released that as kind of a bonus episode. So, I'm continuing to reread. I need to get finished The Fiery Cross, which is the 5th book in the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon, so that I can figure out the design for the 5th season, which is in February. I finished reading Evie Drake Starts Over by Linda Holmes. It was a good one. The Better Sister by Alifair Burke. I totally did not expect the ending that happened. The Farm by Joanne Ramos. The premise of the book was this exclusive, like, resort style place where women were surrogates. But all kinds of stuff happens, and it's it went where it went I wasn't expecting, but it was a really good one. This next one creeped the heck out of me. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I was glad I was reading it in the daytime because I think I would have lost my mind if I had read it at night. It was so creepy. So creepy. Set in New York City. It's about this building that's very exclusive to get into, and they pay people to come live in the empty apartments so that people, to kind of deter people from, like, trying to break in and such. But it takes a spin that nobody is expecting. I'm not going to spoil it, but holy crap, scared the crap out of me.
You could spoil me.
I will spoil you when we're not recording. And so then I started reading A Knight's Tale, Night. A Knight's Tale, which is the 11th book in the Magical Cats Mystery Series by Sophie Kelly.
You should have spelled Tail instead of Tale. A Knight's Tale.
Yes, but it could have been a Knight. Night.
But the tail is more important to a cat than
T-A-I-L,
night.
not T-A-L-E. Although it is a T-A-L-E. Okay, watching. I don't know what I was watching, whether it... Oh, I need to fix this because I finished another season last night. I don't know if it was a movie I was watching that I saw this woman in, or if it was a TV show. But anyway, in a movie or TV show that I was watching, there was this actress, and I was like, gosh, she looks so familiar. So, of course, I, talked to my best friend IMDb, and I'm looking through, and I'm like, of course, she played the president's wife in Air Force One, which is a brilliant movie. And I was like, I must watch Air Force One now. And then I was so grateful to Past CC, because Past CC had a digital version of it that I had gotten, and I was able to watch it immediately. And so I did. Get off my plane! Mm-hmm. Harrison Ford,
Can I see your IMDb to try and see what you were watching?
Sure. Okay. So I watched Air Force One for about the 50 zillionth time. I watched Witness to Murder, a Darrow mystery that was a Hallmark movie. Hallmark Mysteries and Movies, that channel. I've watched seasons 3 through 5 of Younger. And...
Grace?
Yes. Charles found out her secret, that she's really 41, not 27. That's her boss.
When Hope Calls?
Oh, yeah, I haven't talked about When Hope Calls yet. Yes, she's in When Hope Calls. What's her name?
Wendy Crewson.
There you
It
go.
was probably, well, no.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
Christmas Festival of Ice, Hallmark movie.
Saving Hope.
Oh my gosh. Good Witch? No.
Yes.
No, I mean, that wasn't what you were watching. You weren't watching a 2015
No.
episode.
I was watching When Hope Calls.
Oh. Okay.
I was watching When Hope Calls. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So now I need to watch season 6, and then I'll be completely caught up with Younger, with Sutton Foster in it, and also in a couple of the episodes. I think it was in season 5. Her ex-husband was in it. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't know who it is.
I know IMDb. They were together in
Christian Borle?
Yes. He was in it.
Okay, I thought you meant her in-show ex-husband.
No. Her real-life ex-husband was in it and played like a love interest who was then trying to reveal her secret to the world.
Christian.
I love that they get along still enough that they can be in stuff together, because sometimes it's not that way with exes. The Dr. Hubbs and I are watching series 3 of Father Brown. I feel like we may have finished series 3. Maybe not, though. We are watching it, though. I started watching When Hope Calls, season 1. And it's pretty good. It's a spin-off of When Calls the Heart. And then I'm watching season 4 of Chesapeake Shores. Listening to Beyond All the Flosstubes I've been watching. Of course, my favorite murder podcast. And it was a live show. This was the episode that came out yesterday. It was a live show from Texas. And one of the ones that they talked about was the Texas cheerleader murder plot case, which was really funny. The way they portrayed it, it wasn't funny that this woman tried to have her daughter cheerleader rival killed, but the way they told the story was really funny. And then of course Hadestown OBCR, because my heart. And did you listen to anything on your travels?
Cabin Pressure.
Of course. Did the airplanes have where you could watch TV?
On the very first one it did, but I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
There's nothing you wanted to watch?
Yeah.
Are you listening to anything else?
My Fair Lady.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that is everything for what we're reading, watching, and listening to. Let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our September, October, November Artistic Autumnal Owl.
Yay.
So this started on the 1st of September and it runs through the 30th of November. It's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to autumn. There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of September, then finished no later than the 30th of November. And each project of at least 20 yards that you finish and post into the FO thread counts as one entry. But if your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. You can feel free to poly-dip and other alongs as long as it fits in with other rules. That's totally fine. We have lots of lovely prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our prize donors. If you're interested in donating a prize, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com. If you would like to get closer looks at our prizes, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsknit.com, or tune in to the first podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail.
Yes.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you'd like to tag your projects or posts on social media. It's GGK Autumn 19. The FO thread is going to be locked on the morning of the 1st of December, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize or they forfeit it. There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can discuss the progress of your projects and what you're doing. It's also where I give shoutouts to people who finish projects, and I also do that here. So, this week, DG White, Falling Star 12, Jodadiah, Mystery Sower, Ristrauss, Share 2014, Silver Luna 2112, VT Kimmy Kim, and Wolf Joy.
Great job, everybody. Keep working on those projects. You have just a little over 2.5 months to get them done, and yours might be a winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, so I'm asking this question because it's for Dammy. So, Denise, who is Fuzzy Kid on Ravelry from Michigan, asks, Dammy, thank you for giving me a love of musicals back. Right now I'm having a hard time not picking up every single one of the musical CDs I find. So far I've only picked up the Hadestown live show, at least I think that's what it is. It's out in the car and I'm not leaving my seat to go check it, and I love it. If you were to pick only one other show to recommend picking up, what would it be? Size. Okay, I'll give you an option of 5.
Pink is here to help me if she doesn't murder me first. So.
Why, are you going to say cats?
No.
I thought that's why she was helping you.
No, she's just gonna help.
Do they let cats into musicals? Into Broadway shows?
Sure.
You can bring your cat to watch?
I don't know.
You missed her while you were gone. Did you miss your Dammy?
Not anymore.
Hey, Mama, her cuddling me.
So, Pink, we're gonna recommend Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812.
It's a very good one. With
really
Josh
great.
Groban in it.
It's really great. It's really fun. It's really moving.
It's based on how many pages? 70 pages of War and Peace. It's really good.
Okay, bye-bye.
Pink is done. What else?
5. Because, I don't know, that's my top one to recommend.
That and Hadestown.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to choose. I know there's so many.
I guess Les Mis.
Yes, Les Mis is amazing.
My Fair Lady.
Hunchback?
Yeah.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes.
Especially the one with Patrick Page in it.
That's the only studio cast recording that's available for streaming.
Yes. Yeah. So, Great Comet, Hadestown, Les Mis, My Fair Lady, Hunchback?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want
We'll
to
go with that.
Do you want one honorable mention since she already mentioned Hadestown?
I don't know, I think Finding Neverland is pretty great. It's really fun.
I feel like we've talked about this one before, but then I heard somebody talking about it the other day. Is it Come From Away?
Oh, yeah.
I heard somebody talking about it the other day, and they said it was very moving.
Mm-hmm. I have not listened to it yet.
Yeah, I need to try to do that. Okay. Well, those are the ones Dammy's recommending.
Mm-hmm.
If you could recommend 1 or 5 or 6 musicals that you think everyone should listen to / see, what would they be? Tell us in the episode thread. And Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in Ravelry Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right, and we answer them in order unless they're time sensitive, and we have not had a question yet that we have not been willing to answer. So, all right, let's move on to the next segment. And with that, we've come to the end of the show. Thanks for sticking with us. Yeah. Yep. Dammy, you had an announcement.
Yes. I still have some yarn for D-Stash available. It's in the Ravelry group. It's the thread that says Dammy's Back to School D-Stash. If you see, so I've separated them basically one skein per post. So if you see one you want, send me the post number and or the name of the yarn, plus your name, PayPal email address, and your mailing address. That way I can get an invoice sent out to you directly. And there's shipping price information already in the thread description in the first post. So just to make it super easy, just message me with the yarn you're wanting, your full name, mailing address, and PayPal email address.
And the invoice that's sent out will come from, it'll be a PayPal invoice sent from grande@javapearldesigns.com.
But it'll say in the thing, one-time skein of Eclectic Contessa something.
Is that really one you have?
No.
Oh. I was like, I've not heard of this yarn before.
He's making it up.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. If you ever want a yarn company, Eclectic Contessa. Contessa. Sorry, I kicked the thing. Okay, do we have any other announcements?
No.
Just our normal stuff. A huge thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you do it. We are very grateful for you, and we wouldn't be able to do this podcast if it was not for you. Huge thank you to everyone who supports us financially. Big love. Big love. There are, because unfortunately it does cost money to do a podcast, such as I did a lot of shipping this week because we had all of the summer OWL prizes plus the 7th anniversary prizes. So, so here's my little pet peeve. I can do a U.S. shipping. I can weigh it, print out the postage, everything. Just have the Dr. Hubs drop it off at the post office. No queues, nothing. I could do that. And I used to be able to do that on the post office website for international parcels. But they changed it to where you can only do it if you're sending it priority mail, which is the difference between, like, sometimes it's a difference between, like, $14 and $40. So I can still do the customs form at home, and it goes ahead and assigns it the tracking number and everything, but then I have to go stand in the queue at the post office and pay. Fix it. I don't understand why we can't do it, and the post office employees are like, you can't print it online, and I was like, it used to be, can't anymore. So, okay.
I also want to pay $50 to ship a pair of socks.
Yeah. Okay, so there are 3 main ways you can support us financially. The first is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on what level you donate at. If you would like to know more about that or want to sign up, where should they go, Dammy?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you'd like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you want to shop on Amazon, if you go to our website first, click on the appropriate link or image in the sidebar, or at the bottom of the show notes, and then do your shopping as normal. It won't cost you anything extra, but we will earn a little bit of money back based on what you purchase. It's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing already, such as holiday shopping, which is starting to come up. So, all right, Dammy, tell them where they can find us online.
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Excuse me. Well, with that, we hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Great weekend, because this will be coming out on Saturday. Have a great weekend. We are starting to enjoy autumnal weather. We've had some thunderstorms and lightning, which...
That kept me grounded for 40 minutes.
Yes, they wouldn't let them...
Get off the plane.
They wouldn't let them deplane until the lightning stopped last night. And lots of lovely rain, and be able to have the patio door and the windows open and getting just lovely fresh air. And yes, and the rainy season has returned, thankfully, which I love. Keep on crafting, and have a great one. We'll talk to you again next time. Bye.
know the song?
Wait for me.
I'm coming, wait for me. Wait for you.
I'm coming.
Wait,
I'm
coming with
you.
Mew.
Wait for me. I'm coming too. I'm coming too. You look beautiful. Oh, you lost your flower, baby. Oh, beautiful girl.
You just went down.
Beautiful girl. This is my flower that Dammy brought me back from Hadestown.
Mama, the flower. Give me a flower.